Okay, hello. Uh, let's begin here. We are going to work on uh, case problem 2. Specifically, we're going to be working on step 8. So this means that you've completed step 8, and what we're going to be working on is this particular form right here called form supply, so that it looks pretty close to this, and the combo box and a calculated field. So that we can just kind of top down and kind of go through those. Now, in your instructions, it says for step 8, use figure 6-53. That's got to be a typo. We just need to create a custom form, and the custom form instructions start on page or AC 6-25 for the 2019, but it's creating a custom form in design view. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a form. So we're going to go to create, and we're going to say Blake form. And let's go ahead and just hit the save button so that we call this form supply right off the bat. Okay. And we have the ability to work with a field list, but we can right click here and say form properties or property sheet. And this is where we get to this step here that says make sure the record source property is set to table supply. So we can say form property here or property sheet, and then we can work with table supplies specific fields once we bind the form to a specific table record source or whatever. And so we're gonna go to the form property sheet, and we're gonna use table supply as the record source, and then we want to save that. Go ahead and just save that, and then what we want to do is we want to go to add existing fields. And then add a combo box in the forms header section to find supply ID field values. So it looks like we want to add these fields: supply ID, description, cost, number on hand, last order date. And we're going to be doing some specific things with these fields from our table supply. And one of those things is adding a calculated control. And it looks like add a calculated control that displays the total value of current inventory and cost multiplied. Okay, so to add a calculated control, we're going to go back to our instructions from the book, and what we want is a calculated control that is displayed from an expression, and we're going to add the expression in. Adding fields to the form, we've done that, and by just double clicking each field. So we've added the fields from table supply. We may need to modify some of this stuff, and then what we want now is the calculated field. So what I'm going to do is I am going to find those instructions, and then we'll come back and lift off from there. So right now we're on step, the calculated field step of your instructions. So I'll be back soon, and we'll continue on. We've currently got the form built, the fields added to the form. Now we're going to be doing the calculated field. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, now we're going to add a text control. So we're going to be in form layout design. So you're going to click form layout design. You're going to have your form selected, and you're going to go here to this one right here, and that's the text box control. This is what we're going to use for our calculated field. And right now, you know, you guys can put it wherever for now because you're going to be putting things in different areas later. What we're going to do is, let's see here, for the total is going to be based on the total value of current inventory based on the number of hand. And set the tab property in no. Okay, so we want to value, let's just call this stock on hand for now, or just stock for now. I'm sure we'll be getting some instructions here for that. And we want the properties. Let's make sure that this right here is set. We're gonna hit properties for, now we're in the property sheet, so I just right clicked on the text field where we're gonna have the calculated value, and you see that it's named text 47. That's its identifier. And we want to set it looks like some of the different properties for this. Now we've got all kinds of different properties that we can set, like here's for the tab and whatnot. So I'm going to let you guys play with this from the instructions. What I'm concerned with is just showing you how to do the calculated portion of it. So what we want is, this is an unbound control. We want to make sure that it is taking the value of the current inventory multiplied by the number on hand. So we're going to use the asterisk for multiplication, and you guys can deal with the tab stop properties within the property sheet stuff. You just go through here, find the tab stop and set it up right. So we want to use the expression builder. And the expression builder, we are going to use on the control source. So when we think about the control source, what that means is, what are we assigning this control to? What kind of data is it going to hold? For this guy, this text box, the control source, the label, it's just going to be a label, and there's not much to it. We're just going to have caption stock, but its identifier, it's actually named label 48. We just give it the caption stock, and you guys can change that later. You can do it here or you can do it here, depending on your instructions. But what we want is, we want to set the value of what text 47, or it may be called something else when you guys add it. So we're going to go here to data control source, and this is where we can select number on hand and say multiplied by, we can do it this way. We can say number of hand multiplied by, we can actually put it the expression here, but what we're going to do is we're going to actually use the expression builder. So we'll click these three ellipses here. Okay, and this is our expression builder, and we can use it to refer to number on hand. So I'm going to click on number on hand, and then what I want to do is I want to make it so that the number on hand, it displays the total value of current inventory. So it's going to be cost multiplied by the number on hand. So this is going to be number on hand, and we're going to say times. We're just going to put asterisk in here, and then we're going to say cost. And that should, we're going to hit OK now, and there we go. There's our value. So we got the number on hand and cost for this particular record, based on its supply ID, etc. So that's our calculated control. Add a line. Okay, I'm gonna skip this one. C, you guys can do. D, you guys can do. For the labels in the detail section, except for the use the aqua blue, you guys can do that. Step E. F, for the background, I think we're skipping the combo box though. There we go. We didn't do A. I went right to B, and I didn't do A. That we're going to tie to table supply, and that's going to be to find the supply ID field values. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually, you know, what we want is we want this to go in the header though. So we have our calculated field. Now let's do the combo box, and I'm going to come back for that shortly. I'll see you guys soon. All right, we should be back. Okay. One way of getting to the header is to give this form a title. And we can do that by making sure we're form design and go up here in the form design of the design view of the form and click up here title. And that'll open up the form header, and you can make the header bigger so that you can put some other stuff in it, and you can modify the size of the title, and of course, you know, you can put your own text in there for the title. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to add a combo box in the form header, and those instructions are going to be adding a combo box. That's 634. Just look for adding a combo box in your book. And we can use the combo box tool for the control wizard to kind of set that up. And so we'll go up here, and we've got combo box. And let's go ahead and put that right there. Now, right now, the combo box is on unbound. And you notice it shows up the property sheet automatically for the combo box. If you miss that, you don't have that property sheet, just go to properties down here with the combo box selected. Okay. And then once we have the combo box, we can use the control wizard to set up how the combo box works, because what we want to do is we want to bind the combo box to the supply ID. So we pop up here, change the supply ID, and then all the data, it comes into here and it calculates the stock number for us. So that's kind of this behavior. When we go to actually looking at it, we got the supply ID here. So, you know, you guys will be, you know, renaming the header supply up here. You'll say supply ID up here, but what I'm want to show you is, you know, you'll add a label for supply ID, but we're going to be doing this step, is getting it combined. And you know, we can look at this one in design view and look at the properties of it and see kind of what happens. But you see right here, the row source is filled out. Now that's going to be what we get in we're from when we run the wizard. So let's get into that here shortly. We have our combo box in there, and again, you guys will you know, resize this stuff and put it, you know, a different caption up here. You can just call this supply. Supply. And then, you know, probably reduce the size. That might be actually the combo box label. Yeah, that is the combo box label. So we can make this a little bit better. That it just got hidden from us. So we can call that. You guys can label it. It's over. You can go over here and go to caption right there and just change it. Let's just do it. And we're going to go back to the instructions actually to do that. Let's call it, let's see, supply ID. Duh. I think that's whatever. If the instructions tell you to do it something, but that's essentially what it is. And then what we need to do now is tie the combo box using the wizard to the table's ID, and then bind it with the fields that are already there so that the data is updated in them. And to do that, I'm going to go back to here and look at the combo box instructions and make sure that we're heading in the proper direction, and I'll be back shortly. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna take a step back, and what I did is you can actually choose to use a control wizard by clicking down here when you add a control. So that is turning off the control wizard. That is turning on the control wizard. You see the block there. So what we're going to do is we're going to just select this guy and hit delete, and we're going to add him in. Make sure that use control wizard is selected. Then we're going to go back to combo box and select in there, and see it pops up our control wizard. Find a record on my phone based on the value. I want the combo box to get the values from another table or query. I will type in the values I want. So what we want here is we want it to get the supply. Actually, let's go here and look at the instructions to adding a control combo box. And it says here, I want the combo box to get the values from another query or table option. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a query. The query that we use, that we're going to use to fill everything up, is going to be probably the query based on getting information of the table from the supply ID. So let's do this. I want the combo box to get values from another table or query. We're going to say next. And we don't really need it to get the values from a query, because we're just basically going through the supply table based on the supply ID. So I'm going to say next. And then I think we just want supply ID in here. Yes, not I think. That is, because when we drop it down, we don't want the other values in the combo box. We just want to be able to select a supply ID. So that's the only one that we're going to put over. And we're going to say next. Let's just use ascending. Oh, let's use supply ID. Ascending supply ID. Okay. And then how wide do we want it? And it gives us a little direct instruction. So we say next. Let's remember the value. And then we just say supply ID for the label we want. And finish. Okay, we want this guy probably moved over. Like so. And we can probably get that a little closer to it. All right, now this is still unbound. So now we need to bind it. And no, it should be good. Let's actually look at it. No, it is bound. Okay. Good. But you see that when we modify the values, we're not updating over here. And that's the next thing that we need to do. All right, so that's coming up. See you guys shortly. Oh, well, I made a slight mistake. So we're going to backtrack a little bit, and then you guys can launch this from here on out with the design instructions that they have. So we could do this the hard way, but if we do it this way, it's easier, and this is actually how your book shows it done. And that is later on. It looks like adding a subform to a form, adding a combo box to find records. That is on 6-46. That is the instructions we want for our combo box. So we're going to actually delete this combo box. We're going to add another one, but we're going to make a bright change or a slight change, because we didn't bind the controls in the form to the combo box. We bound it to the table, and that was the mistake I made. So this time we're going to bind the controls to the combo box, or actually the combo box to the controls in the form, and the controls in the form are bound to the table. Therefore, if we change the combo box, it changes the records in the form. And so all that's done kind of automatically. And again, this stuff is a lot of click and forget type behaviors. You're learning the inner workings of Access. Remember that the real knowledge that we're going to be taking on from this course is the database understanding, and how tables work, primary, foreign keys, inner joins, outer joins, etc. So we're going to do a combo box this time, but we're going to have a slight change. Okay, so this is where I'm goobered. So this is binding it to the table. Our controls here are already bound to the table. So what we want to do is we want to bind the combo box based on a record in your form. And so we're going to choose this third option. And that's what sets up the behavior. Okay, so again, we just want supply ID. So it's that third option, guys, remember. Okay, and then we're going to give a good caption to this. And then you guys can finish this up and make it nice and purty. So let's make a few things nice and purty. Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do that. So it's already set up. So if you look, we can look at the data of the combo box and the row source. We could have just hard-coded that in if we wanted to, but we used the interface and the example from the book to make it happen. So now, when we test this, since the combo box is bound to the controls, these controls, and these controls are bound to the actual table, we can control the table or we can use the combo box to flip through the records in the table that will be then shown on these records. So when we look at it in actual real view, we'll see that, you see how everything now changes? And the rest of the stuff is just up to you guys. Follow the instructions from the book on how to make it pretty with your lines, your background color, whatever. But that's 6. The end of 6 or case 2. What is the end of? It's the end of case 2, number 8, and you guys can make it look, with the colors and the lines from other instructions. Okay? All right. Take care, guys. Bye.